Donna Brazil video? Hell yeah.
Yeah, the fucking New York Times shit is auto-playing for me and I want to shoot it.
Yeah, don't shoot your computer. Do your best. How do we want to open? I always get so nervous when we open because I never know what to do.
Alright, yeah, who's all here today, folks? Sound off.
Yeah, hi, it's me, Malloy, John Chomsky.
We have
Sid,
November Bravo
Sid
here.
boy. Oh, Sid here. You know me. I've been in the last 3 episodes. You can find my watch the last 3 episodes.
I've been studying very hard in a faraway land at the Racist Academy, and I'm back now. I'm better than ever.
He was detained. He was detained for high degrees of racism in public. But thanks to Donald Trump's lax new pro-racism laws,
I'm back.
He's been
back
able
on the pod
to return. Yeah, and we have a guest. Or hello.
New.
Hi.
New.
Hi. This is Anna, very small Anna, and I'm way too easy to dox.
That's a good quality, actually.
Yeah,
The
I'm
easier,
not
the easier
afraid.
you are to dox, the easier the audience can access your content.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
like
my internet closeness is a detriment to my brand because
Yeah.
all of us are actually just trying to build a brand in quotes.
Big, like the biggest.
My brand
quotes.
is my brand is edible, so I want you to figure out how to access that.
Oh, true.
Excellent. Yeah, I ate rice for dinner. Just
Hell yeah.
rice.
Yeah. I
Hell yeah.
ate coffee for dinner.
and
Hell yeah.
as a good Russian, I had borscht.
Man.
That's right.
I'm not even kidding, unfortunately.
Folks, that's right. You heard it here first. We all work for Putin.
You got rice, coffee, and borscht covered. So we got a couple things.
all the food
We got a couple things written down for today. I think the biggest news from today is probably Tom Perez beating Keith Ellison for the Democratic National Convention chair.
Yeah, thanks, Obama.
Thanks, Obama. I mean, actually,
Yeah,
thanks,
actually,
Obama.
hello. Thank you, Obama.
Yeah, he won kind of. He won with
It
a
was
pretty strong coalition of votes. It was, I think, a 225 out of 435. 235 out of 435.
Yeah, it was 235 to 200, and 35 votes could have saved the 2020 election, but
Yeah, that
Why
definitely
try?
would have saved it. That definitely would have.
that
made
was
sure
all
that
they
the-
needed.
Yeah,
actually.
Yeah.
Why try?
Why change now?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean,
to touch
I'm-
defeat in these
yeah,
times
exactly.
of victory.
I'm not as. I mean, we can think that Keith Ellison would have saved us. I don't.
Honestly, he wouldn't have. He wouldn't
would.
have.
He
But it would have.
would've
It would have
tried,
showed a
but-
step
Yeah, he
in
would
the
have.
right direction.
He would have tried. I don't know if Tom Perez is gonna. I mean, Tom Perez will try. I don't know if Tom Perez is gonna do anything
Tom
to
Perez-
get near succeeding.
Yeah, Tom Perez is the guy who's like, we fucked up, guys. We didn't have a white enough candidate, so we're gonna get some Irish redhead, also female, because we're trying to be woke. Because I'm woke. I'm Tom Perez, the woke guy.
Yeah, but
And-
the nation's misogynist.
Yeah, and that's
I
the
thought
only
that's
reason.
what happened.
Oh yeah, no, they're gonna have to double down on the men. Okay.
Yeah, we're just gonna do like the Randy G Dub tweet where like the Democrats are gonna look long and hard at themselves and be like, folks, we have to be more racist.
We have to be more white. We have to be more white.
Yeah, we have to be more. I mean, like,
Folks, do you know that huge growing Hispanic population that we were talking about, all from like 2010? And saying how this was going to kill the Republicans.
now they catered to it.
Yeah.
Identity
we're
politics
going
is
to win
the only
everything.
form of politics.
Yeah, we're going to win everything because of demographics. That's it. That's the only reason.
Yeah,
Not
the
because we
best-
offer anything.
The best storyline from this was that Tom Perez wasn't like super initially a candidate. It was like Howard Dean and
Yeah.
Keith Ellison, and
Just a
Howard
fucking
Howard
ghoul.
Dean.
Yeah,
Howard
who
Dean
asked Dean to get out?
Has disqualified him from anything for the rest
Yeah.
of his life. You just
I
look
mean,
back at that video of
No.
Howard
He
Dean
now gets
running for
quotes.
president.
He now gets quotes in like third-rate articles about the DNC where he says like, "Look, I don't think we're taking enough corporate money."
Hell yeah.
Fuck
yeah,
yeah.
it wasn't initially a race between Perez and Ellison.
Yeah, no, it looked like they were just going to actually let Ellison have it. It was like Schumer endorsed him on one of the first days.
Yeah, Perez was brought in like later on because they
Yeah.
were so uncomfortable with
What was the last
Ellison
thing he
pick.
got elected to? Like city council or something?
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
like a
he's
city
had like
council.
one election ever.
Tom Perez?
That's how you.
No, Tom Perez was the labor secretary. What are you talking about?
Yes, that's a storied elected position.
Oh yeah, not. I'm gonna go in my hovel now.
And then like
Shame.
didn't he like fail
Shame.
to like get like any serious endorsement from like a labor union?
Yeah, going
All
into
the labor unions Republicans endorsed Ellison. It was insane.
Going into this, a lot of people were like, Ellison has this in the bag. He's getting all these endorsements all the time. And then wouldn't you know it, those endorsements didn't materialize because there was another group, a different group with a different approach on politics that doesn't deal with endorsements or voting or something like that. Something passé.
Something passé, like not money.
Yeah.
Yeah, there are a large number of lobbying groups who can vote in the DNC. I don't remember exactly who it is.
Folks, we're capitalists.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
Folks,
just who we are.
That's just who we are.
Winning
I'm the screeching Trevor.
Yeah, we're all Trevor now.
We're all Trevor now. We're actually all Zach, who's now more active on Twitter. He just
we have DM'd Zach. We will update you if he responds to my requests for feet pics and or coming on the show.
Yeah, we have another 50 minutes to try.
Hopefully
both.
Feet pics. Yeah.
Hopefully both.
Hopefully both. Yeah.
I want those feet pics.
We will make his feet pics the avatar of this show.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think a Goldman Sachs. I'm honestly looking at a Li Fang tweet. Take this with a whole, not a grain of salt, but like a whole block of salt. Because everything that Li Fang says is filtered through loving Milo. It's a joke, by the way. But a Pfizer lobbyist, a Goldman lobbyist, a Lockheed Martin lobbyist, like these people all get votes.
Bar.
Yeah, you walk into a bar and suddenly everything is
the bar is the DNC.
Different.
The bar's roof falls.
Perez was also vocally for TPP, which we were talking about earlier. It's like
TPP actually stands for the perfect plan.
The perfect plan. I mean, and considering the fact that he was part of the Obama administration, like it's not surprising, right?
Yeah.
And,
folks,
and
his actual Obama's
position,
not good.
His actual in his head position could be maybe different than his position within the Obama administration, because he's a politician and you follow the party, you follow the line of the team. Mm-hmm. But he's not going to back away from that once he becomes the chair.
You guys want to give a quick primer to our listeners who may not know what the TPP is?
The Trans-Pacific Partnership.
Just quick and dirty, like 30 seconds on it.
I mean, if you didn't hear about it, you weren't paying attention for a little while.
We gotta leave them all behind. Sorry, folks.
It was a big deal for a long time. It was like it was a multinational trade agreement focused on I think like intellectual property rights in part, as well as there were some things involving drug companies, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff about pharmaceutical monopolies.
It was created in response to China, to create this sort of sphere of influence for the United States in the Pacific Rim, to sort of bring everybody together so that China wasn't the only big player in that region. And it's very it's globalism.
Globalists.
Yeah, the foundation of it was based, if I remember correctly, in the ability for people who were involved in commerce to have a larger say in when breaches were made. Yeah. So they were,
and also to be able to apply that outside of their home countries.
Yeah, significantly more able to get conflicts resolved at a corporate level, meaning that
the best level, actually.
Yeah, the best level, meaning that these organizations get a lot more power in response to rather than government.
Wasn't it going to make it really hard for a government to actually sue a corporation that was exploiting their labor force? Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Hell yeah! I love Elon Musk. I wish he would come to my house and kiss me.
Yes, it was the Warren wing was vocally against it. I think Bernie was vocally against it as well. Bernie was vocally against it.
Anybody with fucking 2 brain cells to put together was against it, unless corporate money shorted that gap.
Yeah, brain cells are interesting. There's a lot of very smart, very evil people.
Yeah.
Everybody who disagrees with me is dumb.
Yeah.
It took a while for opposition to grow, because every time somebody talked about it on TV, they'd get cut off. That was actually happened as Comcast, a big company.
Yeah.
So MSNBC was
which is just the greatest
shows,
fucking. It's the greatest intersection of of moneyed politics and the news, where it's just it's very. I mean, the whole thing is they're negatively reporting on Donald Trump, which is fake news, people. But this has been going on for ages, and like the TPP bit where things were literally being censored live for fucking viewers is absurd. Like if you look at that and be like, no, this is fine, this is what we should get back to. Donald Trump's somehow fucking with this. You're deluded.
Don't you dare call me deluded. I love free trade.
I love free trade and free media.
Lifts all boats.
My boat happens to have like enormous holes in it.
Yeah, my boat just
my boat happens to be made of solid gold and it still floats. It's a really
You
strange
need to have a
phenomenon.
little more personal responsibility for that boat.
My boat needs to pull itself up by its bootstraps.
I know real life boat owners. They're expensive.
Scum.
It's
Scum.
money.
And if you own a boat, you're a moron.
On the record, if you own a boat, you're a moron. I'm gonna send this podcast to my real life friends
Who own a boat? Who own boats?
Who own boats?
I want them to know
idiot.
that they're morons.
Yeah. Okay. Can
Everybody agree?
Yeah, I'm in favor of that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Glad that we got the Tom Perez thing out of the way. Let's move on to the weather.
Yeah. So, folks, how's
hello,
the weather?
it's Malloy with the weather. We're living in hell. So basically, I love it when a news site automatically plays a video, so I can't open the page to talk about it.
I fucking love.
Okay, got it. So NOAA and NASA just came out with some really great data where they get to tell us about how we're all gonna fucking die because of weather anomalies. 1 second. I'm gonna edit this out. I need to get the right calendar.
Sounds good.
The page I was linking to is fucked up.
I've got the pages that you're linking.
It's for last year.
Oh, it is. Okay.
That's the best part about living in global warming. Every year there's an article titled "This is the warmest year ever," so it becomes like impossible to tell which one's which.
Yeah.
So anyway, this one's for 2017. This one actually is new. Basically we're like several degrees up in a lot of the country from average normal like weather patterns. There were something like 5,000 daily high temperature records were set during this month. 5,000 something high temperature records were broken between February 1st and February 20th, which is a fucking disaster.
And those were all regionally?
Yes.
Like region. Okay.
This is 5,000 different like locations had record high temperatures. So basically there's a in normal years there's the polar vortex, which became sort of like buzzwordy a few years ago. That's the current of air that goes along the northern half of the northern hemisphere, and it moves cold air, and it is not there right now. It is not there in the United States, which is what provides a lot of like the typically winter weather. And it not being there means that it's incredibly warm. And so the problem about that is not just that like it's unseasonably hot, which is a problem. It's that what this can do is essentially moves temperatures for like flowering plants and pollinators out of sync.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you end up with those out of sync, that could be an enormous fucking catastrophe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm seeing buds on trees here. I'm seeing like plants coming up. I'm in Brooklyn, by the way. But yeah, I'm seeing that here. Like
Docks.
it was like 70. Yeah, you all know where I am.
In February, it's 70 degrees.
It was 70 degrees in Central Park yesterday.
Holy fuck.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's and there was a couple, like, just because I know about produce growing, since that's like cooked food.
Mm-hmm.
We had a few years back where it was very warm all winter, and we had some 70-degree days, maybe once. And I remember like a lot of the stone fruit crops, like cherries and peaches, were just not there that summer. Like things would start to flower, and then if you got a cold front coming through, it would all die, and you would lose your entire crop for the year. It was like Michigan cherry farmers affected badly.
Yeah. Love that destruction of pretty much every like normal sense of time that's going on. Like the world is just completely falling apart. Everything stops making sense. It's like it's summer now. It's February. What the hell?
I just think food production anomalies are the most frightening things.
Yeah.
It's going to affect everyone really quickly, and nobody really is concerned about it. It's
when you see minor
me
changes
and a few other parent people.
Yeah, just minor changes in food production can have a large impact on not only people's ability to eat, but also industries. People will suffer because of it. People lose
especially
work.
when you combine food insecurity, which I mean, a
Exactly.
lot of the country is already food insecure, with the fact, and I think we were going to mention this, but we didn't put it into the document. The rates of the water in the country is completely fucked. So someone mentioned earlier about like not just Flint.
But like even places in New York have like
Yeah.
toxic
the
levels
Bronx
of water, which is like
Yeah, with
Bronx is really
with
bad.
schools and lots of other
we are
other
now
government buildings having the
we are now
high,
Infowars. We
Yeah.
are now Infowars.
Yeah, I think that report included that schools and other other government buildings also have some of the largest lead parts per million.
Yeah, cities like
ratings.
Corpus Christi in Texas and a lot of like other small but like not like tiny cities around the South are, I mean, their water is fucked, and in some places worse than Flint, but they haven't caught as much national attention because there isn't like a huge economic disaster happening co-simultaneous with that. But you basically combining the potential for a very large-scale disruption of food production with massive crises in water and the availability of water, especially in poorer areas of the country. Like I live in the doxing alert. I live in the Central Valley of California. Which is like farmland. There were like a bunch of reports about houses, like people living in houses that had no water supply going to them. It was there was no water to provide them with tap water or anything while they were living essentially next to a field being irrigated. And so basically when you start having to make those decisions between like, do we turn off water for residential communities? Do we continue to serve these agro industries? And another thing is those agro industries.
That's you've described 90% of California politics.
Yeah, water and angry homeowners screaming about their lawns.
Exactly.
yeah. Nevada's
But
always had water issues.
even there, you're dealing with farmers. Like there was this thing where they're always like, "We're growing food. How's that a waste of water?" Well, they've recently put in fucking almonds and all these heavy water intensive crops that need many times more water to keep alive.
Those are essentially cash crops. You can sell them very expensively, and the amount of water that it takes to make sure that those stay healthy is incredibly high, especially when you have a state
fucking love when they're like, we're growing food. It's like, yeah, well, when I can afford to exist entirely on almonds, when like, and the entire
You gotta
state,
get your almond milk.
yeah,
I mean,
oh yeah, where am I gonna go? I mean, my Whole Foods is gonna run out of almond milk, and I am literally gonna starve.
I'm not gonna lie, I love almonds. However,
fuck you.
there is no reason that the state of California should be producing almonds at the rate that it does because of the amount of water that is required to produce almonds.
Ban nuts is all I'm saying.
Exactly, ban nuts.
Nut free 2017, boys.
Well on my way.
Well, I mean, now that you guys brought up California, I guess we can go a little south and talk about a certain incident with lawns.
I never want to go south. I hate the south of California.
Yeah, no. Someone in our group is from LA and will vociferously defend it.
Yeah, I have. Like
LA blows.
When
That's our official stance.
I've never been there, but I've had nightmares about it.
And like that's saying something coming
same.
from someone who lives in like New York.
Same.
Yeah,
I
New
have
York is,
nightmares
like,
about
shit.
New York.
But like, yeah, that's saying a lot.
Yeah, like he'll come in and be like, I'll be like talking shit about LA, and then he'll come out of the woodwork and be like, what are you saying? LA is actually
We're
really
trying
good.
to expand
And the other thing
our
is-
subway system, okay?
Yeah, the other thing is, I have like a number of friends in my social circles in real life who are from LA, and it's the same thing. It's like you talk shit about LA, and immediately they're like, "What did you say?" No, LA is actually very good, and then you're like, "Oh, I have to drive 3 hours to get anywhere."
That's
It's
the
like, "Oh,
best.
No,
that's the
actually
best
good.
shit.
That's good.
That's a positive aspect. You get
That's
to
good.
enjoy LA more. You get to spend
Yeah.
more time enjoying it.
You get to spend more time in LA because you can't leave.
Welcome to the Hotel Los Angeles.
Yeah, let's talk a little serious. The what we're referencing is the horrifying video of the off-duty police officer who shot at the ground when he was in a confrontation with people who were on his lawn. Children.
So,
Yeah.
One of them was 13 or 14 years old. His friends
he had
were
this
13
like
or 14 years old.
young ass kid, like by like the shirt or something, dragging
Yeah,
him
it is
over.
collar.
Dragging him over this.
He said he was a
pictures
cop,
of-
but didn't produce any identification while he was just manhandling this child because this child rushed up to
Yeah,
him after he called the off-duty police officer called like a 13-year-old girl pardon my language, a cunt for stepping on his lawn or something. And so the kid walks up and is like, "Hey, you shouldn't call children that." And so he grabs this child by the shirt and walks around with him for about several minutes, saying he was an off-duty police officer, but not
it's a
producing
long video.
ID.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, all white people are basically cops. So
Yeah, I have something to tell you guys.
Oh shit!
Here we go. I mean,
Yeah.
if you
As
think
a
about
cop.
it, even Russian psyops like me, that's just an extension of the state, which is, if you think about it, the state is a cop.
Yes.
yeah.
The state is
We're
the
all
mother cop.
We're all anarchists now. The video is pretty horrifying. I would recommend checking it out if you haven't. I would be very surprised
We'll
if
link to it.
anyone listening hasn't seen it.
Yeah.
I think
but-
that what's going to be interesting is the blowback from this. I think his father already filed a suit against the city.
There's gonna be no blowback. The cops are
Oh, yeah.
untouchable.
No, one of the people.
He's on administrative leave right now, and that means nothing. They're
Yeah, they
all
said
always put on
Eric,
administrative leave.
I feel
in
like
this
Eric
great cell
Garcetti's
phone.
willing
In
to
this
take a-
great cell phone, the attorney says that he was trained to react the way he did.
What
Like-
is Garcetti said?
Say who?
Garcetti, the mayor.
I don't know if he's.
The
I
mayor
don't know
was
what he said.
deeply disappointed from what I read. He was
So
cracked up about it.
the mayor is, from what I understand, the mayor of LA is pretty classic liberal, not super extreme in any one belief. Just a big city mayor basically.
Yeah, he wears suspenders probably.
No.
I mean,
I was talking
I've heard
about the
positive
Anaheim.
things about Eric Garcetti, and I've also heard very negative things. Or is it Eric or Eddie? Fuck. Please edit this out. Please edit every single.
But it was the Anaheim mayor that I was talking about that says he was
mention of
deeply
these things.
disappointed that there's no charges filed.
It's
against-
Eric. Yeah, it's Eric Garcetti. I mean, there's no charges filed yet. However, if Garcetti wants to get a win on this one,
I mean,
then
there
he
never
might,
are.
push for it. I mean, the thing is that I don't think he has that much ability to get this dealt with. I think it will be done entirely through the police department's going to be pretty aggressive in making sure this guy doesn't get any negative blowback.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we'll have to
Well,
see.
his house was guarded by riot cops the night after it happened.
Well,
Yeah. That thin blue line somehow materializes, huh?
if you're the police and you're suddenly frightened, it's understandable, right?
Cops
It's
are
just
all the most frightened bitches of all time. They're
Entire-
fucking
Well,
they
constantly
did-
my
terrified.
job-
Didn't they arrest a couple of the kids? They said that there had been some vandalism on his property later, and nobody could find any proof of that. None of the reporters were
That's
they're
great.
your,
Yeah,
your
I think I
SUV is
remember
fine,
seeing
dude.
that. I think I
But
remember
yeah,
seeing that.
Some of the best things for these reports are to have untruthful and blatantly lying information, because that helps discredit who is making the report, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of the time these things are taken at face value, there was a confrontation, blah, 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 and everything is provable, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's on fucking video.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then if you provide information that is that's blatantly untrue or that can be proved as false.
It's just character assassination.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they're already black children. That's basically the lowest priority for police, period. But on top of that, once you start throwing on they were vandalizing his lawn, not the precious lawn.
Anything but the petunias. Who will
we-
think
we-
about
we-
the flower beds?
We wanted to call this section "Long Arm of the Lawn," and I'm gonna stick by that because that's a fire pun. But once you throw in sort of these are hooligans, they're insane children victimizing this poor cop. Then you start getting into actual public perception questions where you're starting to pull down the mayor and see what the mayor has to say, and it becomes this whole thing. And of course there are protests, which gets your average NYC Guido voice. Well, the protests, they're violent, so the kids should probably be going to jail.
Yeah, if
course.
you haven't seen that NYC Guido voice tweet where it's the guy's spends decades idolizing organized crime, and it's blue lives matter.
It's only bad when black people do it.
The Moulignans.
I went onto Eric Garcetti's Wikipedia page just to make sure. And on January 14th, 2014, Garcetti was in the passenger seat of an LAPD vehicle when the vehicle struck a pedestrian. Garcetti's office said that the mayor had been on his phone and had not witnessed the crash, but he had been interviewed by investigators. Cheers to Eric Garcetti for his involvement in a pedestrian collision. I think it's going to be interesting to see, because they haven't. There's an opportunity, right? But the best thing that comes out of this, the best case scenario, is that the guy gets fired and then he goes and finds another job, right?
Yeah.
Like
the realistic case scenario is this is just another fucking nothing happens.
Yeah. There's really no good scenario, because the fact is that some kid had to endure this trauma of getting gun pulled on him by some random guy because he tried to defend his friend. Like,
yeah,
it's ridiculous.
It's fucking disgusting.
Yeah,
cops. We're gonna reiterate that all cops are bastards.
I mean, my job. I was noting this a little while ago to Malloy, but my job has become to be like, oh well, if you're an idiot and you're a police officer, then this would maybe make sense. And then Malloy's job in response is to be like, no, all cops are bastards. And then
yeah. that's every episode of the news show will just be like some horrifying thing a cop does. Yeah. Sid has a reasonable response and explanation about it, the social conditions surrounding it, what's happening, who's saying what, and I just come in and just say all cops are bastards 100 times until we
just
end the episode.
It,
They're bastards!
Please lower your volume.
Okay.
Yeah. Edit that before.
I mean, at least we can be very thankful that no one got shot in this incident.
Thank God, no one got hurt. Yeah, but the thing is that this thank
trigger
God
happy
no one got
fucking
hurt in
idiot.
This incident. Thank God no one got hurt. But every
thank
day,
God not one of the
every day people are getting hurt by police.
Here,
every single day.
You want to know how this incident could have been avoided? If you just didn't grab this kid by his fucking shirt and drag him around for 5 minutes before his friends legitimately thought he was being attacked by someone pretending to be a police officer.
Yeah.
You show me an instance
he dragged him onto his property, do that too. Drag him over the property line and then in the hedges fired the gun.
You show me an instance where a white kid gets dragged onto a cop's property and then a gun's fired, and I will show you 1,000 fucking instances where a black kid gets shot for way the fuck less than walking on someone's lawn.
Actually, there's this thing. I gotta tell you about it. It's called affluenza. It's really hard to be rich. It's really hard.
It is really hard to be rich.
Being rich is tough, folks.
It's really tough. What's going to happen is you're going to drive your car drunk, and it's going to be entirely because your life was really hard because you were rich.
Folks, wasn't that in Texas? Where was that?
I don't remember what state it was in,
it was
but
Texas.
I remember specifically.
Of course, it was fucking Texas.
Yeah. Did he drive drunk?
I think he was driving drunk.
Yeah, he drove drunk, ran some motherfucker over, and went to he was sentenced to rehab or something. Oh, yeah. Speaking of another fun cop-related topic, I hate to harp on it, but there was a town in Kentucky that has a pretty small police department, I think 6 full-time officers and 2 part-time.
And a guy named Sid Hatfield.
No, West Virginia.
So at this police department, however many cops they have, it's 10 or less. On their police vehicles, they put decals of the Punisher skull with a thin blue line through it. That said, and then they had another decal that said all Blue Lives Matter on it. And naturally, everyone on the internet lost their fucking shit about these guys.
I take it back. Cops are good now.
I saw that. That was really funny. It was so completely tone deaf. So stupid. How do you?
Hi. I'm gonna get my cruiser and I'm gonna put the guy from Mad Max with the guitar on top.
As if, the Punisher literally has any goal besides bloody and violent extrajudicial justice.
The point of the Punisher was that it was just gore porn for children. It was just you're gonna have this guy with 60,000 guns and unlimited
You live in a
ammo.
culture. You live in a culture that does nothing but worship cops, and you have to choose the one fucking example where violence is bad. Just go with RoboCop. Go with RoboCop blowing some dude's head off and be like, this is what we do.
We're just murderers.
I don't understand how Punisher is. First of all, Punisher sucks. Punisher's bad. The comic is bad. The film was bad. There's no good Punisher media that's worth watching or consuming.
I can't say Daredevil season 2 is
besmirching
that.
the good name of Thomas Jane.
I will talk shit about Punisher until the day I die.
I don't really care that much.
Okay. I mean, that's fine. I'm not that tied to it as well. Yeah, but how do you make that decision? Who in the police department? Because this has to get past at least 2 people, right?
I love small towns because they're basically petri dishes for the dumbest people alive.
And good news is, though, after
They
it got
all
out to
work
the
for the
internet,
police.
they're taking it off. They're sorry. They're trying to remove it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to remove.
Scraping it off with a paint chisel.
Here, I'm gonna read a quote that the police chief said. That design is basically to give back to the police officers. Our lives matter just as much as anybody's. I'm not racist or anything like that. I'm not trying to stir anything up.
The slogan?
Yeah,
Who gives a shit about the slogan?
well, no, they also put Blue Lives Matter.
I'm not racist. I'm doing NYC Guido voice for a man from Kentucky.
No,
you know that's wrong.
It would be unwoke to mock the white working class, but I will say cops from Kentucky are probably
No.
stereotypically
Feel free.
evil. They're probably they are stereotypical. They put Punisher Deagles on their car.
That's the most
soon
ridiculous shit
They're gonna
I've
have
ever heard of.
the standard issue is gonna be Gold Deagle for everybody.
Yeah.
With the Punisher logo all over it.
Yeah, Gold Deagle, Punisher logo
Every
decaled
time
on the Deagle.
they walk into a crime scene, it's the scene from Stock, Lock, and Two Smoking Barrels, where it's 50 cal Deagle on the side of the gun.
Jesus, dude. Yeah, they're gonna start doing a shooter style. Anytime they get in a gunfight, they're gonna start swinging their gun around and shooting.
Cops like to imagine that they are RoboCop, like a good guy just trying to fight for justice in the world. But really, cops are the robot cop in RoboCop, who go completely haywire and gun down an entire office full of people because they didn't have their coffee in the morning or something.
Dr. McNamara.
We'll need an arrest subject.
Mr. Kinney. Yes, sir. Would you come up and give us a hand, please?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Kinney is going to help us simulate a typical arrest and disarming procedure. Mr. Kinney, use your gun in a threatening manner. Point it at Ed 209.
Yes, sir.
Please put down your weapon. You have 20 seconds to comply.
I think you'd better do what he says, Mr. Kinney.
You now have 15 seconds to comply. You are in direct violation of Penal Code 113, Section 9. You now have 5 seconds to comply. 4, 3, 2, 1.
Dick, I'm very disappointed.
I'm sure it's only a glitch.
Oh, I'll reiterate again. I'm the nice one. It makes sense if you're dumb to become a police officer. But still, if you see any of these practices, or you're the guy or you're in the police department, in any police department.
Hi to all the cops listening to this podcast.
And you see people liking Punisher.
Hello,
First
FBI.
Of all, Punisher is bad. You shouldn't like Punisher. And then if you want to put it on the car, you're an idiot. Also, when did Punisher go to Kentucky? And then conduct raids on small level drug dealers in Kentucky? Why are you idolizing this guy who has nothing to do with you other than the fact that you want to shoot people?
That's literally it. It's I think I'm going to dive into the psychology of the cops here for a minute. The Navy,
the psychosexual pathology of the cops.
The very first thing, obviously, this all traces back to the Navy SEALs, who I think it was Chris Kyle's unit that I'm not even being ironic here, that adopted the Punisher logo because one of the team members on Chris Kyle's team was a big comic nerd like the Punisher and then was killed actually. And so they kind of started running around using the Punisher logo on their helmets, body armor, weapons. That's sort of fuck you, I'm gonna shoot the shit out of you, to get revenge for my dead friend.
All I'm gonna say is I think it is unequivocally a good thing that the comic book soldier got killed.
Oh God.
Of all of the people in that squad who could have died,
Jesus Christ.
I'm gonna say
God.
the best case scenario is it's the comic book nerd.
Anyway.
I'm no longer associated with the Discourse podcast.
All right, Malloy being racist against the troops aside.
However, comic books are bad, and you, if you like comic books, at me, talk to me, and I'll get mad at you in real life.
And yeah, there's actually a Task and Purpose article on this. It's like a military like news site, and it's just basically talking about how like in the Marvel universe and like comic books, if you think about it, the Punisher is like the only operator in it, which is like a terrible thing because his only redeeming quality is like shoot gun good or like his superpower or whatever. Regardless, it's like shit that like the cops have appropriated that to like be like,
Okay.
Yeah,
Here's a quote.
It does actually really suck. Like,
Here's a quote from Blue Lives Matter on Facebook.
Jesus Christ.
oh no.
Here we go.
Okay, in response to Punisher may not be the best superhero to support this movement, they say, his style and methods, no, but his commitment to his family and wanting to rid the world of crime, yes. Plus,
but
we
the
just
thing
like
is-
his skull. All cops love it. It's one of the most popularly used images.
Cops love it.
But
Like
like,
thin blue line patches and accessories.
everybody's pissed that Batman's trying to do shit on his own. Punisher, that's fine because he has a gun.
Yeah. See, that's what I think. This is what I think about. This is what I think about cops. If you're like a poor, generally white idiot, right, living in a small town, what do? If you're a good-hearted idiot, you'll go join the military. You'll get benefits. You'll probably get fucked over by the VA and have a horrible life after you get out.
But yeah, they'll get disenfranchised and whatever.
But if you are a mean idiot, you go join the cops because the cops are, like a bully, only able to exert their power over like a small number of people, but they get to do it all the time. Whereas a troop doesn't really exert any power at all, except in like the sort of masochistic, like I fuck my gun and love my country sort of way.
Guess why I'm a troop.
Yeah, like no offense, November, but
Please.
I don't think you're mean enough to be a cop.
I'm probably not. Like, I've talked about this with my friends who, like, asked me, like, would you ever become a police officer? And obviously, like, my gut instinct is, like, fuck no. Like, I could, like, it's just a terrible thing to, like, literally, not, like, even if, like, you're not shitting as a troop, like, you're not doing something horrible and, like, fucking like ruining all these like people's lives in the country you're currently in.
Which most soldiers are, but
yeah, a cop literally that's them every day. It's them just like taking a big old fat shit like wherever they're like operating in, and then like living with the consequences and be like, yeah, I'm doing a good thing by like arresting a black child for 25 years for like an eighth of weed.
I have Overwatch on Joe's house. I will take the shot. I will take the shot.
And I mean, a lot of military guys like do think that about police, of just like that they're like they want to be the military, but they're not.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the only thing worse than becoming a cop is going from being a soldier to becoming a cop.
Yeah,
what are you talking about, dude? Troop cop is the highest form of valor.
No, like no bullshit. I think troop cops are inarguably the worst people on the planet.
100%.
Hands down. 100%. There is nothing more like pathologically fucked up than a person who's like, learning all these specialized skills on how to kill people and like enforcing this weird ideological, like disgusting mess of the United States foreign policy. I don't think that's enough. I need to bring this closer to home. I need to go fuck up my neighbors. Yeah.
All right. So I'm done
That's
talking
disgusting.
about troop cop and killing people
cops.
and shit. All right, let's go on to Zach.
I was gone for like 10 seconds. Anything negative that was said about anyone, I disavow. I'm positive.
All cops are bastards.
I'm positive for all people.
All cops are bastards.
I'm very nice.
Fuck the police.
Yeah.
I'll say I endorse everything we just said.
I endorse literally everything. We're closing things out, but just as the last thing, I think that it has been really interesting to kind of analyze the militarization of the police, especially with the program. I don't remember the specific name of the program, where the Pentagon sells old military equipment to police departments.
That's super fun.
Wait, Anna, you live in New York, right?
Yeah.
New York is an incredible example of this.
Hit us with some of that first person cop knowledge, because everybody I know from New York has like some weird New York cop story, and as someone who's like literally related to New York cops, I hate them more than death.
Yeah. I mean, I have not interacted with them a lot because I work all the time, I guess. But, like, it's really, really weird sometimes when you get them out in riot gear with, like, you know, huge rifles for, like, no fucking reason in, like, a very public setting. Like, getting off the train and they're standing in the stairwell and you're just, like, squeezing past their gun. And that's, like, really...
Have
it's
you
like,
seen
I
any
don't even
Punisher
know...
logos?
I have not seen any Punisher logos, but I will keep my eye out now. I know it's a look.
I mean,
Yeah.
the only time like I've been to New York, I got off the plane at JFK and I saw like the Port Authority, like
Oh, they
the
all
cops,
there.
Oh god!
and
oh,
the
god.
U.S. like guys in army camouflage and body armor. They all
Yeah,
had
they all have guns. Yeah.
all had
If the
rifles.
USA ever became a fascist dystopia, it would look everything in the
Oh,
United States would look exactly
ever?
like
JFK.
it would look exactly like the Port Authority.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Everything in the
Yeah,
country
Port Authority
would be just
Oh,
copy
that sounds
paste.
awesome.
Yeah, just dead homeless people like lying on the floor and people like
Jesus.
walking over them. Yeah,
Well,
fuck cops.
on that note, I don't think we have much else to cover. It's been hasn't been the most intense week of news, but we'll be back next week. If you haven't listened to the Theory podcast yet, though, I would highly recommend it. And you've gotten to this point. We had Celery and Marcus, and as well as Death Pigeon talking about Frederick Engel's Principles of Communism. I think.
Yeah,
the-
it
That was, that was a good one.
It was really good. It was like very interesting to listen to, very insightful. Even
Yeah,
if you,
that was the good
if you have
shit.
read the piece or you haven't, I would highly recommend it. If you're new or if you have some experience, I think there's something to gain for everybody.
Yeah, check it out. Also, thank you to Anna for coming on.
Yep. Thank
Yeah,
you.
thanks
Andy.
so much.
It was
We
super
anticipate
fun, guys.
we anticipate a sort of food. We were talking today, and someone in our group was like, under communism, the best thing would be the food. Like, and
Hell
I
yeah.
seriously want to like do that as a take because I think
Yeah,
commie food would
More
be,
time to cook is more time to enjoy food.
boom
absolutely.
exactly.
It's sharing. Sharing food is the best part too. So
Yeah, I have
Absolutely.
a French friend who constantly like makes fun of me, an American. First of all, how dare he? But but he makes fun of me because he's like, Americans, they don't know how to cook. They never
That's
cook.
100%
They don't.
true.
That's 100%.
I'm like, that's true, but
Fuck
that's
you.
not just because we're dumb. It's not because we
No,
are dumb, but it's
yeah,
not
it's
because
'cause-
we're dumb.
Yeah, it's because we're dumb.
yeah.
No, it's because we don't have any fucking time.
No, Americans are dumb.
No, I mean we're dumb, but we also
Both.
have no time.
As
Both
an
can be
American,
true.
as an American speaking for all Americans, we're dumb.
As an American, speaking for all Americans, all cops are bastards. Signing out.
Yeah.
Signing
so
out.
wait,
Thanks so much for
Malloy,
listening.
really quick.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about the exciting new project we're working on.
Oh God. Yeah. So we've decided to create some premium This is an exclusive sneak peek. For the people who actually listen to the ends of the episodes. We've decided to do a sort of premium content that's just us riffing about our lives, shit that goes down.
Mostly me just talking about my like horrifying and disgusting past,
Yeah.
and other shit I've been involved with
We
there.
might put the first episode out for public consumption and then put the rest up behind a paywall, but we're not sure what we're doing with it yet.
It's gonna be mostly
when-
like a talk radio thing. I feel. Just
Have a
like-
great night, everybody. We're gonna
Peace
go
out, guys.
offline. Have a
Night,
great night,
guys.
everybody. Thanks so much.
Love y'all. Thank
Yep,
you, Anna,
cheers.
for coming on.